Hey guys, World War II vehicle guy here. Sorry I hadn't posted a video in quite a while. I've been pretty busy around here with life events, trucks, going to some car shows, cruises, a couple World War II events. But just want to make a quick little video here. This is the first time I've ever had all four trucks out at the same time. You have to excuse the rooster in the background. They're crowing back and forth to each other. But this is the first time I've ever had all four trucks outside at the same time. My goal is one day to have them at an event. All four trucks. Unfortunately, I don't think that'll ever happen due to I'm only one person and there's not many people that are willing to learn how to drive these trucks or want to do it. So, and obviously if we're going to a further away event, I trailer them because I have no doubt that the trucks will make it there, but I'm not taking a chance driving them on the road, especially with all the idiots around here. Going down the line, we have Francine, the 1942 GPW script. GPW 8147. This Jeep still has the original tub, a lot of its original F-marked parts. I always get quite a few compliments on this Jeep, being how it's a survivor. The tub has definitely seen better days, but we just keep driving her like it is, and so far it's held up. The floors aren't the prettiest, or the underneath's not the prettiest, but you know, overall it gives a good representation of a World War II Jeep. It's not no trailer queen, that's for sure. I drive it. I drive every single truck here at least once a week. The Jeep I drive a little more, just due to the fact it's a little bit more user-friendly. But we can see we have the Ford script emblem there. Someone at some point in time really beat up this tub. But you see, I think someone had lights added to it. But like I said, I like it as is. You don't want them too pretty, but you don't want them a piece of junk either. But this Jeep kind of fits both ends of the spectrum. It still has the correct GPW engine in it. You have to excuse some of the stuff I have sitting in there. Some of it was my grandfather's, and he's no longer with us, so I take everywhere with him. But yeah, old Francine here, she's a good runner and driver. I love driving this Jeep. We take it with us camping, take it everywhere pretty much. The next one in line, we have the 44 WC56 command car. This was a European return. If you followed my videos here, we did quite a bit of work to this truck this winter when I got it. It ran and drove, but it was not up to my liking. And as anyone that knows me, I put a lot of miles on my trucks, so they need to be turnkey ready. All these trucks drove out here under their own power. I've put probably close to 400 miles on this truck so far this year, and she's been doing great. You remember we did the brakes, head gasket, cooling system, a couple different items, but so far so good. It's a good runner and driver. This truck always gets a ton of attention at car shows because a typical comment, excuse my language, people come up to me and say, "What the hell is that thing?" So you just got to go through and explain to them what it would have done, who would have rode in it. But she's been running good. Haven't had to do much to it since the rebuild this spring. At some point in time, I'm probably gonna have to source a new top. The top's getting pretty ratty on it, but be at a later date. It's not a trailer queen either. It's a nice representation of a command car, in my opinion. Next truck down the line here, we have the 44 WC51. This is going to be this winter's project. This truck's getting a lot of stuff. Hopefully I can cover it on my channel. The first one being, it needs new bedwood. You can see I put plywood in there to just so we can use it, but this winter, this whole bed's going to get stripped down and we're going to rebuild it the way it should be. She's going to get new seals in the transfer case, the rear end. We have a hub over here that has some issues. Someone broke a stud off at one point in time, and then the threads in some of these are pretty questionable, so I'm just going to get a new hub there, replace that. Put new axle seals in it. Like I said, new transfer case seals, some engine seals. And this truck's been running and driving great. I had quite a bit of issues with it here for most of the summer, but I finally got them all worked out. The biggest issue I had was a carb issue. At some point in time, a check ball actually went missing for the accelerator pump circuit. So it would run okay, but it would always kind of have a miss, so to speak, if you listen to the exhaust. So that took me a little while to figure out, but luckily I've been through enough of these carburetors now. I kind of know what I'm looking for. You rebuild one of these carburetors, you know, you always got to watch for the check ball that falls out when you turn it upside down. Turned it upside down, and that check ball didn't fall out. So at that point in time, I knew I had it nailed what the issue was. So we did get that check ball installed. I did try electronic ignition in this truck. It didn't work out for me. Some people, they say it works great. Others say they hate it. Unfortunately, it did not work out in my favor. So we're back to the regular points. But luckily, I've been screwing with enough points here over the past couple years. I got this truck dialed in actually perfect. I couldn't ask for it to run and drive better. You can see we made the seats here this past winter. They're still holding up okay. I mean, it doesn't sit outside or anything, but we got quite a bit of seat time in her, and the seats aren't flat or anything. I've been trying to reset all my trips on the speedometer so I know exactly how many miles I put on. This one, I probably only put about 100 miles on it this year. But like I said, this is going to be the primary focus this winter, is this truck, getting it up to par. Mechanically, like I said, it needs some seals, but it runs and drives great. So we'll get her looking a little bit better. We're not going to paint it. Shiny paint causes stresses, I always tell people. So we won't do the paint, but we're going to redo that wood in the bed, get that looking nice. And then replace some seals. Lastly, we have the 42 Chevy G506 ton-and-a-half. This is a good runner and driver. If you're looking for an accurate representation of a G506, this is definitely not the truck. But as I always tell people, it's still here. You can see I'm missing the troop seats, the bows. We're missing a spare tire carrier. It's missing quite a number of things, but it is a winch truck, so that kind of makes it neat. You see a lot of regular cargo trucks, but you never see the winch trucks, especially with these Chevys. But we did I think it was my most popular video, actually. We did a driving of this truck. She's really slow, but it gets down the road okay, and it's gotten me everywhere I needed it to go. Recently did a tune-up on it and actually brought it around pretty good. Did some points. They were actually gapped very, very small. So got that taken care of, cleaned them, rebuilt the carb, took care of a couple other things, and I drove it today, and actually it ran pretty good, I must say. I was pretty surprised. So hopefully we can get a little more oomph out of her, especially climbing some of these hills around here. I don't think I've ever really done a walk around with this truck. It still has the original military cab on it. It has quite a bit of Bondo in it, but as I tell people, it's still here. That's all that really matters. It actually has a dump bed installed on it. This truck is not a dump truck, but at some point in time, the couple previous owners ago installed some kind of goofy bed on it. So luckily, 2 owners ago, they tracked down a correct bed for it at least. They got that installed on there. Like I said, it is a dump bed. It's not actually a dump truck, but most people don't even notice. I have to tell them it's a dump bed, and they're like, oh yeah, that's not correct. Well, you know, it is what it is. This truck's had a very hard life. You could see at some point in time, they broke it in half. So on both sides, they had to fish plate it, reinforce the frame. But they did a good job because it's still holding up pretty well. Unfortunately, we're missing that spare tire carrier. Those are like hen's teeth to find. If you find one, you better snag it. Still got the guard on the back of the rear window, so that's kind of cool. Like I said, it still does have the military cabs. You'll see a lot of G506s running around. They have a filler neck sticking out the side. That's not correct for a G506. They all had the fuel tanks underneath the bed. Yes, I know the tail light's on upside down. Just haven't got around to fixing that yet. If you saw in some of my pictures, we actually had this truck out at Gettysburg a couple weeks ago. We had it hooked to my buddy Josh's 3-inch gun. We were toting it around. It actually pulled it really well. I was surprised. Didn't notice the difference at all, actually. But that was fun. This truck has the incorrect tires on it. Originally, it would have had 750/20. Currently, it has 900/20. I got a couple questions about the speedometer in the last video of this truck. Yes, it is off due to the size of the tires. It reads 10 mile an hour under actually what you're going. With a little bit taller tire, I think you can get a little bit of more speed out of it. It does 40 mile an hour comfortably. Any higher than that, and you know, it gets a little shaky. Essentially, I tell people this is essentially a tractor on wheels. You know, the G506s, they weren't speed demons. And you get people that say they can get 60 mile an hour out of a G506. I'd love to see that, because I think that's just way too much stress on these trucks to be turning that fast, especially that rear end at 667 gears. That's just entirely too fast. Now, I do know some people change out the gearing in the trucks. That would be kind of neat, to go a little bit faster, but I'd just be curious as to how that 235 handles that little bit of not as high as a gear range, gear ratio. I think the 235 would struggle a little bit. A lot of people, they put 261 truck engines in these trucks, and it does wake them up a little bit. Currently, this truck has a 58 235. Originally, it would have had dipper lubrication, Babbitt bearings on the original 235s. A lot of people think this truck had a 216. It did not. The G506s only came in a 235. And, you know, the military was using 235s pretty early compared to the civilian market. The civilian trucks, a lot of them were still getting a 216, but the G506, you had a 235. So, but hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Sorry I'm not really doing any driving or working on them, but, you know, I like to... this was always a dream of mine when I was a little kid, and here I am, 25 years old. I got the GPW when I think I was 22, so a couple years later, and we have 4 trucks total. I'd love to keep adding them to my fleet, but unfortunately we're out of room, so if I don't want to own it if I can't keep it inside a building. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.